Okay, in today's workout, we're simply going to use our body weight. Okay, so no kit is required, and it's pretty much a very straightforward and self-explanatory workout. What we're going to do is we're going to have 3 phases. Each phase has 3 exercises. We have a lower body exercise, a push, and a pull, or an equivalent of. Each exercise is executed for 30 seconds with a small transitional period to allow you to move to the next exercise. So for example, in phase 1, we've got bodyweight squats, press ups, and back extensions. 30 seconds of bodyweight squats, 30 seconds worth of press ups with a slight pause between the two, approximately 15 seconds. Once I've done all 3 exercises, I rinse and repeat 3 times. I then move on to phase 2, I then move on to phase 3, which, as you saw there, is all documented by my water bottle. I have my iPad for timer. If you want to set up a clock or something similar where you can keep an eye, that would be great throughout this workout. With those timings, this workout will not take any longer than 15 to 20 minutes, including your warm up and cool down. So there you have it, body weight. Let's get into it. So as per usual, you've seen this warm up many times if you've followed the last 2 videos. So I'm pretty much going to go through the same, but with a few variations, as I now have a mat to stop me from getting caked in mud. I'm a little bit stiff. This is the 3rd training video on the trot. So I'm going to just loosen myself off a little bit before we get into the session. Okay, so as per usual, just a few reps on each side. It depends how quick you feel that you're warming up. You might be inside, I'm obviously outside. It's a little bit cooler this evening. Okay, and obviously little things like this are going to happen with a little bit of a breeze around. Maybe I needed some pegs or a rock on each end, but hey, the show must go on. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen myself off a little bit. I do feel a little bit tight, but nothing too bad that won't be okay by the time I'm into it. Now the good thing about bodyweight training and how I've structured this evening's session is there's no real requirement to have a too lengthier warm-up, if that's even a correct way of explaining it. And that's just purely because the phases are gradual, and because the phases are gradual, you warm up through phase 1, you'll warm up through phase 2, and so on. So as I said, I'm gonna do some different warm-ups today, just purely because things are a little bit stiff, but like I said, I've got a mat today. So my timer hasn't started yet, but I'll start my timer when I start my workout. So a few of the movements just to loosen myself off a little bit. Whatever feels tight for you, loosen it off. Again, just want to apologise if there's any muffling as I breathe heavy into the microphone. Okay, now like I said, phase 1 is relatively straightforward, and it's a good opportunity for you to incorporate it into a warm-up. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't feel warm enough yet, do a few more minutes of warming up, but I'm going to use phase 1 as an extended warm-up. So I'm going to start my timer, and I'm going to start with bodyweight squats. So I'll get a nice little intro, 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
even talks to me. So just nice, easy. 30 seconds worth of bodyweight squats. And as you can see, you can see why I've classified this as an extended warm-up. Oh, thank you very much. Because it's not too strenuous. We usually do these kind of things in a warm-up. Okay, so I've got 15 seconds rest. Allows me time to get a little bit of water on board. Set up for my next exercise, which, as I said, was press-ups. I'm going with level 1, just purely because I'm still not warm enough for 30 seconds worth of full press-ups. So you will choose your own level. You might want to go straight in and do full. That's absolutely fine. However, you may just choose to do halves.
2, 1, rest.
Okay, so 2 exercises down. The next one's back extension, which is relatively straightforward. Just laying supine on your front. Sorry, laying prone on your front. Hands by your temples.
1, go.
And lifting up. So you won't get much movement here, but that doesn't mean that the exercise is ineffective.
Halfway there.
A lot of work into your lower back.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Okay, so that is phase 1, round 1 done. When my timer starts, I shall go into bodyweight squats once again.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, and as you can see and as you can hear, heart rate's going up, breathing rate's going up, and it's actually not so cold out here anymore.
Halfway there.
I'm a little bit warmer. First round didn't count though, because I didn't start my watch. And if you didn't track it, it never counts. Okay. Press ups this time, a bit warmer. Moving on to full.
3, 2, 1, go. Halfway there. 3, 2, 1, rest.
Excuse the sniffing. Just catching my breath.
3, 2, 1, go. Halfway there. 3, 2, 1, rest.
So round 2 of phase 1. Heart rate's tricking along at around about 115 beats per minute, so nothing too bad just yet.
3, 2,
But I'm most definitely warm. And like I said in previous videos, the beauty of this is, if you're training alone
halfway there.
and it's a mindset thing, once I've done phase 1, I'm 33.3% way through my workout. Okay, so back to the press-ups, which will be a bit more challenging this time. End of round 1 or phase 1.
Halfway there.
Like I said, a bit more challenging there, but we move on through. Final exercise of phase 1, round 3.
3, 2, 1, go. Halfway there.
Okay, so phase 1 done. Moving on to phase 2. Again, keeping my rest periods nice and short. Backward stepping lunges to begin with. Alternate legs. Again, it's body weight, so not exactly the most strenuous, and which is why we've brought the rest periods down. Which is why we've brought the rest periods down. So when intensity levels drop, your rest periods should be relatively quite low. So the good thing about this is it's straight into some core. Plank. So lock it in, excuse the sniffing, and relax.
Halfway there.
Looks fairly simple, but if you're following, you will be warm by now. Okay, laying flat, arms out. You might not be able to see it from this angle, but we're simply letting the arms touch the floor, and then pulling those shoulder blades back. Squeeze them really tight, like you have a pencil between your shoulder blades, and you want to hold on to it. Love this exercise. It's more of an activation exercise, whereby if someone's got bad posture, it's really good.
2, 1, rest.
It's really good at correcting posture over the long term. Pulls the shoulder blades back, especially for those that are quite rounded upstairs with this kind of posture. So round 2 of phase 2. Heart rate just checking in, 122 beats per minute. So more of a steady one than an intense one tonight, or whenever you're watching this video back. So straight back down to plank again. Short rest periods, 15 seconds on this timer. I guess you won't need a timer if you're following real time.
3, 2, 1, go.
You can simply just work through it with me and use me as your timer.
Halfway there. 2, 1, rest.
But I'm guessing that if you feel that 30 seconds isn't challenging enough for you, you have that scope, if you're just following the routine, to manipulate those times
3, 2,
if you choose to.
1, go.
So again, shoulder blades back, hands to the floor, really pinch them. I like to squeeze and hold, only for a split second, rather than just rushing through them. Squeeze, have some intent, some purpose behind the movement.
3, 2, 1, rest.
So round 2 of phase 2 done. Let's move into that third and final round. Like I said, if you want to manipulate the times, increase them.
2, 1,
40 seconds, 50, 60, whatever you want, dependent on one, how much time you have available, and also the level of the intensity of the workout.
halfway there.
So this is calculated to take between 15 and 20 minutes.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Okay, so now we're working a little bit harder. Heart rate's at 140 beats per minute. However, my timer might run out because I've only got 5% battery left on my iPad and my timer's froze. You just couldn't write it, could you? Oh, come on. Let's go. We'll throw it back in. Obviously, I've extended that there.
3, 2, 1, go.
That's how you know that this workout is genuine. Either Max will appear trying to shoot me with a water pistol, or the battery would go on my iPad,
Halfway there.
or probably this isn't even recording. That's just the kind of luck that you often get when recording these kind of workouts.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Okay, so back end of phase 2 excuse me, is what's called rhomboid firing, pulling those shoulder blades back and down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Again, really good for posture, but it's all about intent with this exercise.
Halfway there. 3, 2, 1, rest.
Okay, perfect. So we're moving into round 3, or phase 3. Round 1, and we're simply going glute bridge. So hip thrusts, also known as. Lay back, relax, and again it's just clenching that bum cheek, or those bum cheeks, really tight. Thrust the hips, squeeze the bum.
Halfway there.
Feel like you're trying to crack a nut between your glutes, your backside. We're going to stay here. Again, I'm going to apologise for the breathing. The mic's chucked under my chin a little bit now. We're simply just going to get the heel of our hand to touch the top of our knee, like so. If this variation is too easy for you, feel free to make the adjustments. So once again, apologies If you had deep breathing, muffled speech, it got stuck under my chin. Okay, so this is a half and half. Okay, so we're simply just going to have a side plank. I've chosen to go from the knee level, which would be classified as level 1. If you want to go up onto the outside of your feet and classify it as level 2, you're more than welcome to. But it's something that you've got to make a decision on how hard you want the workout to be. Halfway. So a very quick change. You're going to lose a couple of seconds, but that's inevitable if you are working to a timer.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Okay, so that's round 1 of phase 3 done. When you're training bodyweight, it often is movement with intent rather than overload. So for example, if you're usually hip thrusting 50-60 kilos right now, this is going to feel relatively easy. However, I'm still focusing and squeezing, so the intent is still there. I still know that I'm getting that mind muscle connection, squeezing the glutes. And the same with any exercise that's body weight. Body head. Oh dear. Bit of abdominal work. Okay, final exercise of round 2. Heart rate's now stagnating at around about 125 beats a minute, which is absolutely fine. It's more of a buffer workout, this one. I'm currently 15 minutes in with just over 1 round to go. So well and truly on time, which you can't get wrong if you're working to a timer, obviously.
Halfway there. Three, 2, 1, rest.
Okay. So there you have it. Phase 3, last round, before we go into a nice stretch on the floor. Make it count, make it good quality, squeeze the bum, tight as you can. There's no better feeling than knowing that you're a couple of exercises away from the end of your workout, is there? Regardless of how hard, moderate or easy it's been. Just a nice sense of accomplishment. Okay, so it's all looking quite good, providing the camera has recorded, my watch is tracking, my iPad's not died on me yet, and we're 1 exercise away from finishing.
Halfway there.
I'll do an extra few seconds just purely because that transition time was a bit poor. So I'll wait until the time is finished, do 2 or 3 seconds after it.
1, rest.
Thank you very much. Okay, so there you have it. 3 phases, 3 rounds of each exercise, 30 seconds on the clock, 15 seconds transition period. Now, let me just move the mic so it doesn't sound too muffled now I talk. Best bit. Let's get some stretches done. So as I was saying, not the hardest workout, but more to do with activation, mind-muscle connection, and intention. So sometimes your body doesn't need to go as heavy as it possibly wants to. Sometimes it's good to put the brakes on and just get the body moving. And obviously with body weight, where you're quite limited, it's the ideal opportunity to do just that. So after a few days of heavy training, it's often nice to take the foot off the gas, pull in here if you wish to, just to get that glute stretching. As I was saying, it's sometimes nice just to take your foot off the gas, get the body moving, especially if you've had a few days of heavyish training or doing movements that you're not quite used to. It's just nice to loosen things off a little bit and have a calm one. So, as I was saying, if you found that this session wasn't challenging enough for you, the next time you come around to do it, maybe extend the time. Do maybe 40 seconds of work, 50 seconds of work, 60 seconds of work per exercise. Obviously the option is there for you to add resistance or add load, should you choose to. But if you're limited with time and limited with equipment, a body weight session like that, where you focus a little bit on strength, a little bit on activation, and a little bit on just mobility, really, is exactly what the body needs from time to time. It's not always about as heavy as you can go, as fast as you can go, and pushing yourself to the limits. So I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good after this. Again, just apologies if I've come across quite muffled, heavy breathing. Like I said to you before, I've had to listen to you many a time, so unfortunately now you can listen to me. So time wise, okay, 21 minutes. 21 minutes of peaceful, especially out here this evening, movement that has got the body moving, the blood flowing a little bit. And I'm certainly feeling pleased that I've done something. So like I said to you before, it's not always about how hard you work. It's great to have sessions where you push yourself, but it's also important from time to time to structure in sessions that allow yourself to work, but at a low to moderate intensity. So I hope you've enjoyed this session, and the choice is yours whether you want to make the intensity a little bit harder for future. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, have a good day.